This video is for 1.1 cell theory. The learning target today is I can describe the 3 parts of the cell theory. A reminder as you watch the video to pause when you need to, go back if you need to re-listen to something, and to take notes as you go. Cornell notes is an option, but it is not required. So to start with, we want to start by asking how you describe something that is alive, right? When you think about the kingdom of living things, it's a huge, diverse group of plants, we have animals, mushroom, we have protists. And what are the characteristics that they all share? How would you describe that to someone? We're going to review the characteristics of life, so I would like you to write these down as we go. Number 1, have cellular organization. All living things are made up of cells. You have some organisms that are unicellular, which is one cell. You have some organisms that are multicellular, which is more than one cell. All living things have movement. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean we're moving from point A to point B, is that there are things that go in and out of the cell. So an amoeba, which is a unicellular organism, right, is taking things into the cell from endocytosis and out of the cell through exocytosis. Obtain and use energy. All living things need energy. We will learn about photosynthesis, we'll learn about cellular respiration. All living things reproduce. So a bacteria cell reproduces by a much simpler process where you have one cell, it divides into 2, and then those 2 cells would then divide into 4. Asexual reproduction compared to sexual reproduction, where you need a male and a female, and the cellular development is much more complex. All living things grow and develop. All right, so we have organisms grow and develop over time, whether that's metamorphosis or the changing of phases, even when you think about a baby going from a newborn to an infant to a toddler, or looking at the plant picture there, over time they're growing and changing. Respond to stimuli. All living things respond to stimulus. So whether that's a change in temperature, whether that's pain, whether that's like having a fever, is that we are interacting with the environment. So now we get to the cell theory. Multiple scientists contributed to the 3 aspects that are widely accepted today. The first is Robert Hooke in 1665. He was the first person to use the word cells when looking at a cork under a microscope. Robert Brown in 1838 noted that all plant cells have a nucleus. Matthias Schleiden in 1838, same year, all plants are made of cells. Theodor Schwann in 1839, all animals are made of cells. And Rudolf Virchow in 1855 came to the conclusion that all cells come from other living cells. So the work of these 5 scientists are given credit for the cell theory. So what is it? You want to pause the video while you write this down, please. All living things have cells. The cell is the smallest unit of life. All cells come from pre-existing cells. So when we talk about all living things have cells, that's all of these kingdoms. All animals have cells. All plants have cells. All fungi have cells. Protists and bacteria all are made of cells. The cell is the smallest structure of life, right? So we have some organisms that are unicellular, that they are bacteria, amoeba, paramecium. And then there is us, humans, where we are made up of cells, which build tissues, which build organs, which build organ systems, which build the organism. And then we have that all cells come from pre-existing cells, which means that your new skin cells, right, came from a pre-existing skin cell that was already there. So that is the video on 1.1 cell theory. I can describe the 3 parts of the cell theory.